guys, and welcome back to the Red Mist podcast with me, Seshadri, and welcome to Raw Reactions from the Merseyside Derby. Yes, it is Derby Day at Goodison Park. I don't know what the weather's like at Liverpool, but it is pissing it down here in Newcastle, so that's not great. But we're not here worried about Newcastle weather. Hopefully, Liverpool and Everton can give us a good game. If you guys don't know about Raw Reactions, it is me recording my reactions pre-game, at halftime, and at full time, and compiling them into one single episode. So far this season, we've had some great Raw Reactions from, great in terms of content, but not so great in terms of results. For example, from the Aston Villa game, we've had some. It's been fun to do these episodes, though. Like, genuinely, it's actually been quite fun to do these episodes. But we're here for our first ever Raw Reactions from the Merseyside Derby on the podcast, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And as is tradition with the pre-game part of the Raw Reactions, let's actually go ahead and take a look at the lineup. So we'll start with the hosts. We'll start with Everton. So we've got Jordan Pickford in goal. No surprises there. Seamus Coleman, he's captaining the side. He's going to be playing at right back as well. Michael Keane, Yerry Mina, Luca Dean, very expected backline. Alan, Doucouré, Gomez, Andre Gomez starts in midfield, and the front three of James Rodriguez, Richarlison, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, what I will say is James Rodriguez tends to cut in a lot. I mentioned this yesterday on my pre-game show as well. James Rodriguez tends to cut in a lot towards the center. Andre Gomez goes out wide sometimes. So it's a very fluid system, very defensively solid with Alan and Doucouré. Doucouré, obviously a very hardworking fellow in the middle of the field. Alan, we all know his strengths. Obviously, he didn't have the greatest of seasons at Napoli last year, but he seems to have hit form this time with Everton. Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, both of them scored during the international break for their countries, so they're in good form. Calvert-Lewin is in the running early on for the Golden Boot. So, like I said, it's going to be an attacking side. Ancelotti's not going to change the way Everton play, especially considering they're at home. They want to get that first win in 10 years. And it's actually 10 years to the day since their last win against us. And they want to get that win, and you can see it. They're going to be attacking. Alan and Doucouré are going to provide midfield covers so that Coleman and Digne can bomb forward down the wings, pretty much like what Robertson does and Trent does for us. We've got those guys there. On the bench, we've got Robin Olsen, who's a signing from Roma. We've got Fabian Delph, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Alex Iwobi, Bernard, got Ben Godfrey, who's a new signing as well from Norwich City. Centre back there, good backup, good signing actually. I thought when he actually signed, and Tom Davis as well, the England under-21 international. But that's kind of I just dropped my pen there. But that's kind of been Everton's starting lineup the last few games, and no changes. Nothing much to say, really. I mean, very creative side. If you look at it, Gomez, Rodriguez, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, they have the firepower to hurt us. And our defense hasn't exactly been, imposing their will on teams. So, Calvert-Lewin will fancy his chances. Hopefully we can keep him quiet through this game. Hopefully we can keep James Rodriguez quiet through this game. Andre Gomez on his day can be a big threat as well. Alan and Doucouré, I like I said yesterday, I don't think we should get into a physical battle in midfield with these guys because, to be honest, we're going to come out second best in that battle. So I wouldn't want a physical battle. I think Doucouré and Alan will be wary of Thiago Alcantara. We'll get to the Liverpool lineup in a bit, but spoiler alert, Thiago is starting. So Doucouré and Alan, I think their job will be to limit the damage that he does from the middle of the park. We'll see how that goes. Very attacking lineup from Everton, unchanged obviously, and the only weakness, like I said yesterday, Pickford tends to make mistakes. That's something we can capitalize on, and hopefully we can get a result that I guess tames the expectations a little bit for Everton. Coming to Liverpool's lineup, we've got Adrian in goal. Not the person who'd inspire the most confidence in you right now, especially after that horror show against Aston Villa at Villa Park. So, Adrian, Then you've got Trent. Joel Matip makes it to the side. Joe Gomez, obviously, I speculated yesterday that maybe Gomez might be given one more game to prove himself, but Joel Matip comes in. Joe Gomez has been horrendous on form, so he definitely needs some time out. And he needs to know that his place is not a guarantee anyway. So Joel Matip is in the lineup alongside Trent on the right hand side. Hopefully, we're not as exposed today as we were that day. Hopefully, we don't play as high a line today because otherwise, honestly, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, they can really take advantage of it. Um, Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson complete the back line as per usual. Fabinho, Thiago, and Henderson is our midfield three. So finally, we get to see what the best midfield for Liverpool will look like. Fabinho, Thiago, Hendo. Hendo's going to be working hard. Fabinho's got to keep an eye on Andre Gomez as well as James Rodriguez there. Thiago Alcantara, in case we're not able to get much inroads through Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, there's a lot of responsibility on this guy. He's going to be crucial to retaining possession as well. Him and Henderson are going to be very, very crucial to that. I think if we're going to engage in a technical battle with Everton, I think we're going to be coming out on top, and that's kind of the battle that we should be looking to engage with them in. And then obviously we've got the boys, Mane, Salah, Firmino. I personally, the form Firmino's been in, I would have dropped him and played Minamino. I've been saying this for quite some time, but what I will also say is he did score against, I think it was Bolivia, was it? During the international break for Brazil. So, maybe that was, those were the goals. I think he scored one goal or two goals. I don't remember how many, but maybe that was the game he needed to get his confidence back, So, you never know. Hopefully Firmino does well. Hopefully Mane, Salah, they all do well. Salah's been on form even in games where we've not been our best. He's consistently found the net, against Leeds, against Villa. So Salah is fine. And Mane, honestly, the last few years, he's been our best player. So overall, not just in terms of statistics, but I feel like out of the front three, I think Mane's been our best player last season, especially. So Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, Firmino. On the bench, we have Kelleher, Wijnaldum, who loses out to Thiago. No surprises there, really. I mean, you're not going to bench your captain. You're not going to bench Fabinho. You're not going to bench Thiago. So Wijnaldum is the biggest loser out of in that midfield sort of competition. James Milner is also on the bench, as is Joe Gomez, Curtis Jones, Minamino, and Diogo Jota. There's a chance we might. I honestly thought we might see Chimika start this game because we have a Champions League game coming up against Ajax. I think. Again, I'm not really sure. Like yesterday, also I wasn't very sure of this, but I don't know if it's on Tuesday or Wednesday. But whatever it is, I thought maybe there's a chance Chimikas gets to start this game, but Robertson is starting against Everton. Chimikas probably might start against Ajax, or maybe it'll still be Robertson. I genuinely don't know. It's early on in the season, there's no need as such for that much rotation. Maybe later on in the season, maybe if this was a round of 16 tie against Ajax, then maybe we might have seen some rotation. But yeah, I mean, look, honestly, I'm just hoping for a good game. I think it's going to be an attacking game. I think it'll start out cautious. I think Everton will look to impose their physicality on Liverpool, especially in midfield. I personally think Liverpool will have more of the ball, but Everton is going to be lethal on the counter. I went for a 2-1 win to Liverpool yesterday, and I'm going to stick by that. I don't think, I don't think our defense will keep a clean sheet. As much as I hate to say this, I don't think our defense will keep a clean sheet because our defense. Sorry, I keep dropping my pen. Our defense has not looked that great, and Adrian as a keeper is not inspiring confidence in anyone. So personally, I don't see why we would keep a clean sheet. Honestly, I wish we do, but if you were asking me to look at it with a logical mindset, I don't see why we can keep a clean sheet. And especially given the form that Richarlison is in, given the form that Calvert-Lewin is in, it's hard to imagine them not finding the net. But I do think we will come out of this as the winners because we will have more of the ball. If we play the way we played against Chelsea, if we play the way we played against Arsenal, then there's no way Everton's stopping us. Unfortunately for them. But that's been my pre-game thoughts on Everton versus Liverpool. Hoping for a good game, and we'll see how it goes. I'll see you guys at halftime again, which on the podcast should just be one transition music after this segment ends. But yeah, we'll see how it goes at halftime, and then I'll come back again at full time, and we'll see how the game has gone, and we'll discuss. We'll discuss performances. We'll discuss who's been good, who's been bad, who's had a stinker, who's had a worldy. I don't know, honestly. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the pregame segment. I will see you guys back again for halftime. Hi guys, and welcome back. It is 1-1 in the Merseyside derby at halftime. Everton won, Liverpool won. It was the first move of our game when we scored, really. The ball going out from Mo Salah all the way towards Robertson. Robertson gets past and then lays it off for Sadio Mane to finish. Good finish into the top corner. 3 minutes on the clock. Liverpool take the lead. It's the dream start. Honestly, we've been really good as a team. A lot of things to talk about in this game so far. A lot of incidents. It's been a proper derby game. I'll give him that. It's been very, very. It's just been a very good derby game, if you know what I mean. Like it's not been cagey. Both sides have not been afraid to go at it. Liverpool have obviously had more of the ball, but Everton have been physical. They've tried to impose themselves in midfield, especially Alan. I mean, to be fair, Alan's had a good game by his, for the role that he plays, and James Rodriguez has been good. On our side, Thiago's been brilliant. Mane has been brilliant. Salah, Firmino, they've all been really, really good. So we've actually had a very good derby half, even though it says 1-1. And to be fair, like I don't even feel like criticizing a lot of the players because yes, there are a couple of performances that could get better, and I'll get to them. But there's no real how do I put it? There's nobody having a very down game. It's not like the Aston Villa game. You can see that this Liverpool team wants to set things right and get the win. That's not to say Everton doesn't, but it's just Liverpool have been the better team like throughout the first half. It says 1-1 score. That's unfortunate, and I'll get to that. But yeah, first move of the game down the left hand side, and Sadio Mane gives us the lead. And to be fair, like that left hand side's kind of been our main source of joy. Um, we've not really penetrated much down the right hand side. I think Trent's kind of been one of those players who's had a very pedestrian game, nothing it's been a very unremarkable game. Like he's just had a very average game, nothing great. If you were to sort of equate it to Football Manager, and if you were to give him a rating, it'd probably be something like 6.1, 6.2, or whatever out of 10. But the point is, he's had a very pedestrian game. Not much has come down the right hand side, but down the left hand side, it's been brilliant for us. Thiago's looked good. His passes have been crisp. They've been sharp. He knows what he's doing in that midfield, and he's playing a little higher than where he played at Bayern. So there was a little bit of concern as to whether that'll suit him, but it suits him just fine. And his quality is really shining through. And there've been a lot of. There was another incident, obviously, with Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho with a long ball through, and see this is weird for me because look, Pickford comes charging out and he gets Van Dijk on the legs. Like there's no question that it's a penalty if Van Dijk is not offside. Now the only question is Virgil van Dijk offside when the ball is played by Fabinho? Now, personally, look at this. You got to have some consistency with the offside rules because Calvert Lewin's foot is ahead. Like I think it plays him onside because the only part of Van Dijk that's actually offside, if you technically look at it, is his hand, and he can't score with his hand. It's not a scoring part, so you have to be very consistent with your VAR. You have to be very consistent with your offside decisions because you can't like Virgil cannot score with his hand. So why is his hand being declared? Why is he being declared offside? Because his hand was a few centimeters away from Calvert Lewin's foot. Now Calvert Lewin, he can play offside, right, with his foot. Like there's no law against it. And so here's my thing. Like personally, I think Virgil van Dijk's onside for that goal. I mean, I think it's a penalty. It's not a goal, but I think it's a penalty. For that penalty appeal, I think Virgil van Dijk's onside. Look, I at the time I didn't think it was that controversial, but I mean, looking back on the replays right now, I think it is quite obvious that Virgil is onside. Like for me, that's not a question. Like he's onside. There's no question. His hand is the one that's offside. Like his shoulders are in. Like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, every scoring part of Virgil van Dijk's body, and I know this sounds very weird, but every scoring part of Virgil van Dijk's body is behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin's foot, which means he's onside. The only part that's ahead of it is the hand, which means that's got to be a penalty. I mean, so I don't understand the consistency behind VAR. I just don't understand this. And then Everton equalize. And Michael Keane, centre back, England centre back, he's the one who gets the equalizer. 19th minute for Everton. Now, you can point the finger at Adrian saying he could have maybe done better, and maybe he could have, but to be completely fair, I think a large share of the blame has to go to the defense because the defending for that corner was just terrible. Virgil van Dijk, by the way, at this point, he suffered that injury with Pickford. Pickford's come charging out at him, kind of got his legs. I think he got his knee. It was good to see him walking, but he couldn't continue on. So I don't know how serious the injury is. But honestly, like, it's not been great. And personally, I think Pickford should have at least been carded because I don't think it was an offside in the first place. So I don't like personally, I don't think that was offside. So for me, Pickford that should have been a penalty, and Pickford should have been carded. At least a yellow. Like I'm not going to be extreme and ask for a red because as a keeper charge, it's kind of it's a risk that you take. So that's not really bad, but I would say that's a yellow. Um, so yeah, I think we have to have we have to have had a penalty, and Pickford should have been shown a yellow card. But that being said, Michael Keane gets the equalizer. Very pathetic defending. First of all, see, here's what I don't understand. You have two centre backs on the field. Why don't they just mark the other or the opposite number? Why don't they just mark the two centre backs? Why is Fabinho and Roberto Firmino there marking? I think it was Michael Keane, and I don't remember who the other person was. But Michael Keane was definitely marked by Fabinho, and he got an open header. And as a centre back on a corner, if you're getting an open header, you got to get it on target. And he did. Adrian couldn't react to it very quickly. It was a header coming from inside the 6 yard box, and Adrian was kind of backpedaling a little bit. So he doesn't get the save. Ball goes in. Everton won. Liverpool won. Um, Overall thoughts in the half. I think we've played well. I think we have done the best we could. We've been the better team for sure. We've been better in possession. We've created a lot more. Everton, apart from like brief moments, they didn't quite look as threatening. The only thing I'm concerned is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He is having the better of Joe Gomez at this point. It's not often, but when he does, he's getting the better of Joe Gomez, and that's a little bit of an area of concern for me. Trent's got to improve, but otherwise, I think the team is fine. Second half subs, I'd maybe add Diogo Jota in at some point because he's in form. Played well for Portugal over the break. Played well for Liverpool even before the break. So I'd add Diogo Jota in at some point maybe. Maybe play Salah up the middle. Play Diogo Jota on the right, or whatever combination works out. But um, I personally I think we've done well. Wouldn't change too much for the first at least 10-15 minutes. See how the game goes, and then we'll decide. But yeah, that's been halftime from me. I'll have more at full time, more detailed analysis at full time, and hopefully we can still come out of this with a win. I went for a 2-1. Hopefully that prediction stays, and hopefully we can come out with a win. And 3 points will be three crucial points for us. Everton, if they do get a draw out of this, I think they'll look at it as a win. But for us, it's 2 points drop. So I would prefer that we come out and we show Everton what Liverpool football is really about, and we actually take the win. But yeah, that's been me from halftime, and hopefully I'll see you guys at full time with good news. Right. So before I get to my full time stuff, there's just something I need to clarify. At halftime, the if you guys heard the middle part of this audio, you guys would have it might sound a little different. So yeah, there's just been some technical issues. So just it's something I couldn't avoid, but it happened. But yeah, before I get into sort of the analysis of the game and what I thought of it and all of that, Can someone actually explain to me what VAR is supposed to do? Because I thought VAR was supposed to look at clear and obvious errors. Now, at halftime, I said, Pickford, I can understand it being a yellow, but look, part of that is my own goalkeeper bias because I can understand why he did it, but I'm not as well versed with the rules as referees in the game are, and I saw two shows, one on BT and one on DAZN, the Zone. I don't know how you call that, but I saw both of them, and they both were of the opinion that Pickford should have been sent off. Like the fact that it was offside, the fact that Virgil was offside has nothing to do with him being sent off or not. So, look, I'm not going to say. Okay, let's just assume. Okay, Pickford gets away with a yellow on that one. Let's just assume that's fine. But VAR, man, what exactly is clear and obvious? Because I mean, I'll be honest. A shirt sleeve being offside is not going to make any difference to Sadio Mane getting that ball. Like, it's not going to make any difference. He was going to get that ball. He was going to put that cross in. Like, look, if it's clearly offside, if he's got like 1 foot ahead, or if he's like, if there's a clear distance, like you can see clearly that okay, this guy is at least like what, a shoulder width ahead of the defensive line, then fine, it's offside, accept it. A shirt sleeve, really? That's what we're basing this on? A shirt sleeve being offside? A little bit being offside? Like it's literally not even the whole shoulder that was offside. It's literally not even the whole shoulder that was offside. Honestly, how? I mean, I haven't watched a replay, but I haven't watched a replay right now, but I've watched I watched it 2 or 3 times when they showed it. But honestly, like if I'm Jurgen Klopp, I'm fuming at this because there is no way that is offside. There is no way. There's absolutely no way that's offside. No offense, Pickford should have been sent off, and this guy should have been offside. No offense. That is just this guy was not offside. Sorry, Mane was not offside. There's no way. There's no way that's offside. No way. All right, look, you know what? We'll get to that again towards the end, but let's start with the second half. Everton played better in the second half. Let's say they were more. I wouldn't say they had more of the ball or something like that, but when they had the ball, they seemed more incisive than they were in the first half. And I'll start with Everton's goal. So the game ended 2-2, unless you were living under a rock. The game ended 2-2, which means Everton haven't got a win against Liverpool in 10 years, and that run keeps going. But that being said, look, let's start with Everton's goal. The ball is moving down the left-hand side. Luca Digne, to his credit, he just keeps running. Okay? Trent Alexander-Arnold, what are you doing? You've had a terrible game against Aston Villa. You should be keen to make things up in this game. What are you doing? Why are you asleep at the wheel? What are you hoping to do? Catch Luca Digne offside? Because Digne is not a stupid footballer. He's smart. He's going to know how to break the offside trap. And I think it was Richarlison who played the ball to him, for the cross. Richarlison is not stupid either. As soon as Digne goes past Trent, Richarlison's going to play the ball. And that's going to come at a time when Digne is he's already gone past Trent at that point. And he's kind of, he's still well within the offside trap. Like, what are you doing, Trent? Your job as a right back is to track the runner. It's the most basic thing you're taught in defending. Track the runner. That's it. That's all you have to do. And you fail to do that. And you wonder why you can't nail down a spot in the England 11. It's mistakes like that. And I know we keep saying, okay, Trent is young, but the guy is experienced. He's been our right back for 2 years. 2 years in football is a big, big deal. 2 years playing in a Premier League club, in a Premier League winning club, in a Champions League winning club is a big deal. I'm sorry, but that was just inexcusable what Trent Alexander-Arnold did. And it's not just this game. He's been having a terrible season so far, to be honest. He's nowhere near where he was the last 2 years. I don't know if he needs a break, which I can't understand why players would need a break, because you've just come off a 3-month COVID break and you've had a preseason holiday. So yes, it might have been a shortened holiday, but it's still a preseason holiday. This is basically like a game, in a normal sort of time. This would be like a game in November. And you're telling me you already need a break? That's what you're telling me? I'm sorry, this is stupid. What Trent did was absolutely stupid. Fair play to Luca Dino, made his run, got past Trent like he didn't exist, which, for all intents and purposes, Trent didn't exist. And then he just puts in a cross, and Joe Gomez, don't even get me started on that guy. Look, he wouldn't have even been on the pitch if it wasn't for Pickford doing what he did to Van Dijk. And I honestly hope Van Dijk's injury is not serious, because you saw this game how frail our backline is without him. Genuinely, Van Dijk might make mistakes, but our backline is genuinely as frail as an 80-year-old grandma at this point. I mean, Joe Gomez, man. Look, Calvert-Lewin, even in the first half, and I remember mentioning it on another WhatsApp group, Calvert-Lewin, even in the first half, was targeting Joe Gomez because aerially, Joe Gomez is an absolute abomination. The guy cannot head. I don't know what the hell is going on, but the guy cannot head. Okay? He's quick, has a good tackle on him, can intercept. For some reason, very scared aerially. Even in the first half, like I said, Calvert-Lewin just kept staying on Joe Gomez's side, like on the left-hand side. Like he never came towards Joel Matip. And it made sense because Calvert-Lewin is good in the air. Calvert-Lewin against Joe Gomez, Calvert-Lewin is the one who's favored in that battle. And that's what it proved. Luca Dino puts in the cross and Calvert-Lewin Joe Gomez, I don't even know what he was doing because he was nowhere near Calvert-Lewin in the first place. And by the time he realized it was too late. The ball was already in the back of the net. Because Calvert-Lewin just got up, headed it, free header, striker on form. That's going to be a goal all day long. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Liverpool's second goal, Mo Salah, I mean, look, that's just genius, okay? Like, that was just a very good finish. Like, no keeper in the world is going to save that. Unless you're like super tall, maybe then you have a shot. But that was just a rocket. I think it was a shot that came off of Yerry Mina, and then this guy just whacked it in bottom corner. No way Pickford saves that, and I'm not going to put that on Pickford. And Pickford had a decent game. Yes, he should have been on the pitch. No, apparently not, according to the referees. But fair play. It is what it is. He stayed on the pitch. And he made some really good saves. First half, he had that free kick against Trent, which he saved. Second half, he had the header with Joel Matip. By the way, very good header that was from a set piece. And I think it was a corner. And that was a very good save. That was definitely a very good save. Fair play to Pickford. He had a decent game. But honestly, our defense, I mean, Trent and Joe Gomez are the worst on form right now, and they honestly need to be benched. Like, at least for a few games. Just play James Milner there. I don't care. But they need to be benched. Play Fabinho as CB. Play Wijnaldum, Henderson, Thiago. They need some time out. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's their head. I don't know if it's physically they're tired. I don't know what's going on. But they just need some time out. They need to be out of this team for a little bit. Give him 1 or 2 games off. And then see how they come back. Andy Robertson, brilliant on the left flank. It's our right flank that's let us down. Both games, even against Aston Villa, Robertson was brilliant. Mane, brilliant. Salah, brilliant. Firmino, okay-ish game. Again, not hitting the heights that he did. Jota looked more lively when he came on. And it wouldn't be a surprise if Jota is actually inserted into the starting lineup at some point. If Firmino keeps this going. Like, Klopp is very reluctant to change, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But right now, it's turning out to be a bad thing with Firmino. And honestly, if Jota keeps this up, I can see him in the starting lineup quite soon. Play Salah, Mane, Jota. I can see that. I can see that happening. So that was Everton's goal. That was Liverpool's goal. That's 2-2. And then we come to the incident. Like, how is that clear and obvious? That's my only question. How is that like VAR was brought in to sort out clear and obvious errors? You're telling me that an assistant referee on the far side would have seen a shoulder sleeve being offside under normal circumstances? You would have seen an inch of the shoulder being offside under normal circumstances. Like that's just not gonna happen. You know when it's clear and obvious? When the guy's like half a foot offside and the assistant referee doesn't spot it. That's clear and obvious. When there's a handball in the box, an intentional handball, and neither the referee nor the assistant spots it, that is clear and obvious. If I'll just take an example. If the Lamela Martial incident was not spotted by the referee, that is a clear and obvious error. Not this. There's no way an assistant on the far side is going to spot a shoulder sleeve being offside. And never in the history of, I've watched football for so many years now. I don't remember shoulder sleeves and jerseys and shoulder lengths being discussed as much as they are right now. So you're telling me, and look at it this way, you're telling me a guy who has broad shoulders is at a disadvantage because of this? Because two people like Minamino and Akinfenwa could stand in the same place with the same posture, and I can tell you Akinfenwa would be offside and Minamino would not. Like, that's what you're telling me? If you guys don't know who Akinfenwa is, just Google him. You'll know. The guy is huge. He's got broad shoulders. He's huge. They both stand in the same place. Minamino's on this side of the line. Akinfenwa is on the other side of the line. That's just stupid, in my opinion. You can't hold a guy's physical development against him. Why Akinfenwa? Look at Adama Traore. Adama Traore stands in the same place as Sadio Mane. Adama Traore is offside. Sadio Mane is offside. But if Minamino is in that same place, he's not. And that's nothing against Minamino or Mane or Adama Traore. It's just the way players are built. And you have to have a decent system of recognizing that there are some physical differences, and small differences that don't account for a goal. 1 inch of a shoulder is not going to account for a goal unless you're going to score that goal with the bloody shoulder, or unless you're controlling the pass that's coming to you with that bloody shoulder. There has to be a system, because there has to be a reform, because this is not, and this is not the first game either. There's been Firmino had that one where his shoes were offside, his shoelaces were offside, something like that. Last season, was it? And there were so many. And it's not just Liverpool, it's other teams as well. So I don't want people to be like, oh, he's a Liverpool fan, so, blah, blah, blah. He's just supporting it because Liverpool were on the wrong end this time. And no, it's so many other teams. So many other teams. And when VAR is supposed to work, like Aston Villa and Sheffield United last year, they don't work. Apparently because, VAR just does not have jurisdiction over whether the ball crossed a line or not. What stupidity is that? Honestly, what stupidity is that? There are no words to explain what just happened. Absolutely none. There's none. There's just no words to explain what just happened, because if Mane was half a foot offside, let's say he had like maybe a 10 centimeter, he was 10 centimeters past someone. I don't know if that's half a foot, honestly. I'm very bad at math. But let's say he was about 10 centimeters past the offside line. Or one of his feet was off, or his whole complete right foot was off. I can understand that being given. But like an inch of the shoulder, a centimeter on the shoulder, like really? That's going to make a difference, you think? That's just stupid. That's honestly just stupid. That's it. It's just ridiculous. It's stupid. I'm not saying VAR is spoiling the game, because technology by itself does not do anything. But honestly, the way VAR is being used and the way VAR is being handled, there has to be a lot of clarity on what is clear and obvious. Excuse the pun, but I excuse the wordplay, but I had to do that. There has to be clarity on that. What is clear and obvious? I mean, honestly, this is ridiculous. To be denied a win in a game we played well as well. Like, yes, Trent had a pedestrian performance. Joe Gomez didn't cover himself in glory. But apart from that, the team was actually quite good. Adrian had a few shaky moments, but okay. Could he have saved the first goal? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm not going to hold it against him. The first goal was bad defending more than anything else. Robertson had a good game. Thiago had a good game. Henderson had a brilliant game. Salah, Mane, Firmino, all of them Firmino was okay, like I said, but Salah, Mane, they all did well. And you're telling me we're denied a win because of that stupid decision? That's what you're telling me? Honestly, this is so pissing off. This is pissing me off to no end. Because that is not a quote-unquote clear and obvious error. Anyway, that Everton 2, Liverpool 2, Liverpool's on 10 points after 5 games. Everton's on 13 after 5 games, but they're still unbeaten in the league. Aston Villa and Aston Villa have a 100% record as well. They're going to be playing Leicester tomorrow. Played one game less. A bunch of teams can overtake us depending on the results, but we'll see how that goes. But honestly, I'm just very disappointed in the refereeing because we played well. It's not like we didn't. Look, if Everton equalized and if they held on for a 2-2, fair play. You know, we were shit at defending. You capitalized, got your second goal. Fair play. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But to be denied, not because of Everton's brilliance or not because of Liverpool screwing up, but to be denied because of a referee screw up, that's just. And I'm not even bringing up the Pickford red card, by the way. Like, I know I've mentioned it, but I'm not even that asked about that because I can see, like, okay, it's offside. Yes, you know, the referee said it should have been a red. Look, even if it's a yellow, fine. And even on that one, I'm not convinced Virgil was offside. Just so you know, like, I'm not convinced Virgil van Dijk was offside because I think the only part of his body that was offside was the hand. I don't know if, again, there's a shoulder issue there. I haven't really gone back and checked since halftime. But even that, I'm not really too mad about for some reason. It's this one. This irks me because that's not. Because see, that one I can see if Pickford got away with a yellow on that one. I can see because it was offside. I can see why Michael Oliver would say, you know, it's happening after the play, so fair play. You know, it's done. But again, there's no consistency. Man United can get a penalty after full time, but Liverpool cannot get a penalty because it was offside. There's no consistency. Like, what's going on? You know? Decide. Like, there's got to be something. You have to decide. You have to be clear on how you're going to interpret rules. And so far, the FA has been absolutely shite at doing that. The Premier League has been absolutely shite in terms of refereeing standards. And Michael Oliver is supposed to be one of the best. And look, he's had more good games than bad. And Michael Oliver's been a very, very good referee. I'm not saying he's a terrible referee, but there are other referees who are quite terrible for Premier League standards. And that honestly, they need to sort themselves out. That's all I'm going to say. But you know what? I don't even know. You know what? Let's just end on a little bit of a positive note. The Champions League campaign is beginning. Liverpool are taking on Ajax Amsterdam in our first game. I will have a preview episode for that game as well. I'll have a Champions League preview. I'm trying to get a guest on. We're still trying to work out the dates because both of us are quite busy. But you know what? That being said, we'll try and get the episode out. Hopefully, we should be able to. And I honestly, I really don't think there should be an issue getting the episode out before the Ajax game. But that's something to look forward to. The European campaign gets underway. I think it's a home game first against Ajax, or are we traveling? I honestly, the next game is against Ajax, and I literally know nothing other than the fact that we're playing Ajax. And of course, I know about Ajax Amsterdam, but that's for another day. But that's been raw reactions from the Merseyside derby, the first of the season, the 267th or 237th. I forgot the exact number, but Everton 2, Liverpool 2, disappointing, and disappointing not because of Liverpool's performance, but because of the referee's performance. But I think that's going to be a fairly recurring theme throughout this season, not just for me, but for a lot of teams. And it's just something that's unavoidable. And hopefully they do rectify that. But I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys have a great day. My name is Ishadri. Goodbye.